Well, hello everyone, and a very happy new year, and welcome back to another episode of the F1 2020 Driver Career Mode. Season 4 is here for the start of the new year. Now, if you're unaware, of course, there was a vote, so I'm going to reveal the vote in just a little bit. But first of all, we need to hop back to the end of Season 3 and renegotiate our contract with Renault, as it was then. And of course, we went for the medium ground. I feel like we could do with a bit more money in the perk fund, because in fact we haven't actually updated it since about 1812. So we've gone for a driver acclaim. We could have gone for engine wear, but that's really not really a thing in a 25% career mode. But yes, here's where we are then. I'll go into the R&D a little bit more in detail, despite decides to say we're going to be taking a lot of work on the chassis side of stuff. But yes, obviously we're going to have to build that up as soon as we possibly can. Fortunately, there is this minor weight redistribution upgrade that's going to come in ahead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. So it's good we're already getting at least one upgrade on the car. But let's go to the car reveal for Season 4. Here it is. Yes, you guys voted for Alpine, so for Renault to rebrand as Alpine. So I have rebranded literally as much as I can possibly can that the game allows me to do to Alpine. Obviously, one big thing that is of course missing is I can't change the name, as Cyril can't make his mind up about which tattoo he's getting this year. So but yes, here are the liveries in full. Red Bull have had a minor change. I decided to change the rear wing based on Christian Horner saying they weren't going to have a title sponsor to replace Aston Martin. Here's our car, the Alpine, with its blue, white and red. It's not complete yet with this livery. There's one little bit of white thing which I noticed after I made this mod that needs to be corrected, which is annoying because the paint file is just, well, modding on F1 2020 is very difficult. Racing Point, Perez, you might remember, retired at the end of Season 3. He got replaced by Guan Yu Zhou, our former F2 My Team teammate. So he's now in this career mode. No Daniel Ricciardo. I suspect Ricciardo may have actually retired. But yes, Cognitions, or however you call it, I've butchered that name. I'm going to continue to butcher that name. Has been added, as well as the AMR. And I've added a little bit of stuff to the Alfa Romeo car. Rumours though that Alfa Romeo are leaving actually as well. And I finally found out how to mod the Williams, the paint file. It is a pain because you can only change the colours that it's already got. So you can't, let's say, make the Williams red, for example. You can only add it in the different, either black or those two shades of blue or white. I'm not too sure about the I'm not completely 100% on this one. It could might need a little bit more work.
Alright, welcome back. It's going to be one heck of a season, I think. To be honest, I don't think we've done the best job maintaining our performance through this regulation change. So we're going to be playing a bit of catch-up this year. We're counting on you, but you've got the whole team behind you.
Welcome back. I hope you've kept yourself fighting fit. We've got another tough season ahead of us.
So yes, here we are in the workstation area, whatever you want to call it. Obviously everybody's got the team. Unfortunately, that cutscene didn't have the team livery, but everything else here does. So yes, everything from that mug to the pen as literally as much as I possibly could. I tried to mod. I will upload this to Race Department once I've made that slight fix to the paint file, which will probably be later on in this week, probably into next week. Oh, it's raining in the race. Well, this is going to be a struggle then, considering the fact I'm terrible in the rain. I don't. Well, it's not actually true. It's just that in most of the tracks I'm terrible in the rain. There are some tracks like Monaco and Brazil that I can get away with it. I probably could get away with it at Mexico, but Australia, probably not. Especially the fact there's going to be that transition as well at some point, but we don't know. But here we are in the R&D. We've gone basically from the 4th fastest team to the 4th slowest, so lots of work that needs to be done on there. McLaren, though, are out. But again, obviously the performance graph must be taken with a pinch of salt, because Racing Point are the 3rd fastest, and they haven't really shown that in all when they were the third fastest team in Season 3. So, and of course, we're back in the garage, and our trusty right-hand man, Arav, is here in the Alpine Alpine livery now. As we move into qualifying, it's business as usual outside the top 10. I can't actually remember the last time we qualified in the top 10. It might be USA in Season 2, well over a season ago. So yes, but we are improving on this second lap of ours, which is good. 2.5 tenths up now, going through into the middle sector through to the car park. Obviously, in real life, the Australian Grand Prix might not be going ahead. Might be postponed, it might be cancelled. We'll have to wait and see what goes on there. Verstappen now is going fast. His Red Bull looked very fast during the early runs through this qualifying. You can see Stroll struggling down there in 14th. We're in a Haas sandwich, which is not where we want to be. So we definitely need to improve. Only 2 tenths up though. We were expecting a little bit more. We are fractionally ahead of Stroll in the second Racing Point. 2.5 tenths up now as we go through the 3rd and final DRS straight. As we come through into the 3rd sector, can we make up any more time? Closing up to 3 tenths up now. As we need to into the hairpin where I struggle for cornering. I think it's just the pad thing, but we've made all that time that we lost through that hairpin up on the final corner. Almost 3 tenths up, but it's not enough for anything decent, and we stay P14. So that's definitely frustrating that we've had a regulation change, but 7 tenths is probably about average. We have got Racing Points, which is Guan Yu Zhou on his debut as well, out qualifying Stroll as well. So that's definitely interesting to see how those two get along. Yes, 14th on the grid. What can we do? It's time for the race. It's time for a wet Australian Grand Prix.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to Melbourne for the opening race of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to the Australian Grand Prix. We're a stone's throw from the enormous Port Phillip Bay for today's race at the 3.3 mile Albert Park circuit. It's a bumpy racing surface here, and the 16 corners could prove especially difficult in the wet conditions. Watch out for a safety car at some point during the Grand Prix. The rain is falling today as the battle commences for the World Championship once more. They've done very little running in these conditions, of course. Anthony Davidson, this could make a mess of our expectations coming into this Grand Prix.
That's very true, Crofty. If you want to mix up a motor race, a little bit of water on the circuit will do the trick nicely. The key to success today will be ensuring you're on the right tyre at the right time and making sure you can get them up to temperature.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Albon, Kevin Magnussen and Norris, Sainz, Ocon, Leclerc and Pierre Gasly, Zhou, Stroll, Sebastian Vettel and De Renault, De Vries, Matsushita, George Russell and Antonio Giovinazzi, Latifi and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So yes, the raincoats are out here, but at Melbourne it says it's going to be a no-stop race because this is 25%. I think we'll probably move to inters towards the end of the race, but we'll have to wait and see how the rain progresses. Viper lights come on, and they hold, and away we go. For the season 4 is underway, and it's a slow start. A snail would have got off the line better than that. We dive it down though in the inside of both of the racing points. There's a little bit of contact with Zoe there on the outside. We get a warning from the FIA, but we're up into P11. It's a good start. I need to make up places during these early laps because I guarantee you the pace will start to fall off. We've gone down the inside of Gasly and Leclerc. Gasly's still on our inside and pushes us wide into the car park. But we've managed to make ourselves up into 9th place. Yeah, we gave him room there. He just got on the curbing and then just let go of the steering. Which I don't get as a feature. Vettel continues to struggle throughout this race, and he's now behind De Vries. He's only just ahead of one of the Williams cars as well, so he's struggling. We are coming into the pits though at the end of lap 8, and we're going to take a massive gamble. I feel though we don't want to get held in the pits by people double stacking and whatnot, so I think we're just going to come in, pit on the inters now. Maybe a little bit too wet, but I'm going to try and make this work. Because I guarantee you, by the time we get to the end of the race, our wets will have gone, and the AI will still have that super grip of theirs. So, this is for more of us to be more raceable and be more competitive. We'll see what we can do now. It's brought us out in last place. At this point, also the Delta times have gone completely as. Something is going on here. Ocon has retired in this race. We'll get a replay of that in a moment, but something's gone on ahead with the Alfa Romeos, and we're going to dive it down the inside of 3 cars of both Matsushita and both of the Williams cars and move up into P16. We've also set the fastest lap of the race coming out the pits, but here is Ocon there retiring with an engine failure on lap 1. And this is what happened. It was Latifi, and he just slowed right down and did not make anything up. And then, of course, we breezed past both Williams and Matsushita. So we forced out Matsushita. That allows Kvyat to try and go around the outside of Matsushita and make the move up. And so now we're closing up to the 2 Alfa Romeo cars. Can we go dive down the inside here on the inside of Russell? He tries to squeeze us, taking a bit of more of the curbing and up into P15. Yeah, and just completely ignore the times on the front left. It is broken at this point. Not really sure what's going on there. We also get now Giovinazzi into the penultimate corner and dive down the inside and up into P14. And then we could continue on. We're not 45 seconds ahead of Giovinazzi, but we have caught up to Vettel now. He was having a look at De Vries. He's still behind De Vries, Vettel, and we dive down the inside and up into P13. So Zoe and Stroll are in the last points. Well, Zoe is just outside. Stroll is in the points playing position. They're not just far up the road. Stroll apparently has got a problem as well, so we might be able to capture that. We might be running out of laps as we've got past De Vries as well in the Haas and move up to P12. But unfortunately, we do run out of laps. Eventually, the timings have reset itself. So we were closing in on Zoe, and probably a couple more laps. We would have made this work because Leclerc and Gasly aren't that too much far away. But I don't think we would have been able to survive because this is the problem with this game in wet conditions, is that going from wet to inters, the AI always have the upper hand, which is a shame because it ruins the experience for the player. Yeah, we obviously set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on inters compared to Verstappen. Obviously, Verstappen and Red Bull are a lot faster than us anyway. So, and for Ocon, well, I don't know. Is this a thing that he's retired now? But we'll see.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Who would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
I'm not going to answer this one because they're all not relevant to the car performance.
With how you're performing.
Well, we did well today. We did okay.
How do
A
you
couple
feel the weather
more
affected
laps.
the outcome today?
No comment. No, we've pitted for inters. We took the gamble for the inters when we were in the points, and I felt it would have been the right strategy to get the undercut there.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
I don't know what she's on about. No, I really don't know what she's on about there. No comment. Oh, don't start sighing at me, Leclerc. And you've had a non-sign streak, and that's now gone. We're up to driver acclaim level 14, by the way, which is nice to see. So that's going to help us get a bit more dosh. Not that it matters anyway, because the majority of our contract goes, I don't know, to the Battersea Cats and Dogs Home, as far as I'm concerned. But it's just a few hundred resource points further away from a major weight redistribution upgrade. A bit of a tongue twister for me. So we will endeavour to get that one put on probably during qualifying, after practice, because we're like 100 resource points shy, unfortunately, of getting there. But yes, that's where we started off with season 4. The second episode at Bahrain will be on the channel tomorrow. So yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel for you see more episodes of the F120 driver career mode with Alpine as and when they come out. But until the next video, asking it's time, take care, thank you so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.